What up and welcome back to my channel. And today we're gonna be making this broccoli and cheese or cheesy broccoli stuffed chicken breast. Because when I say I outdid myself with this one, I'm gonna follow this recipe from now on when I want my stuffed chicken breast. Okay. And I tried some Vigo yellow rice for the first time. That Mexican Spanish rice. I love it. I love it. Let's get into it and make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now, I got me some good old chicken breast. That's why this is what inspired this recipe. I got some good old thick chicken breast because that's what you're going to need. Get some good chicken breast and we're going to make a hole in them. Now, two of them I did like this where I just made a hole right through the center. And then the other two, I just did the regular slit on the side like that. But for the ones that I did, you know what I'm saying, do the hole just right through the center instead of the slit. I think I like that technique a little bit better. But it really depends on the chicken breast. Because if you got a big thick one and it's like kind of basically lopsided, it's hard. You just got to kind of go with the flow of the shape of your chicken breast, basically. So like I said, two of them I did the slit like this, and then other two I just curved a hole with my knife right through the middle. Okay, to make it easy. Just make sure it's deep, but not too deep where you basically breaking the chicken. So then I went ahead and seasoned it. I started with some Italian seasoning. Okay, then I went in with some black pepper. Okay, it's all about the flavors, and this combination is serious. Okay, then I went in with some garlic salt. Okay, optional. You can do seasoned salt if you want to, whatever, or just regular salt. Then I had some garlic powder. Okay. Last seasoning, this Nashville hot McCormick seasoning. Okay. This is fire. Now, of course, it's hot. If you don't like spice, I do not recommend it. If you don't like it, it's definitely spicy. If you haven't tried the Nashville hot, like flavor in general, it's pretty like spot on. So if you don't like spice, don't do it. Okay? You hear me saying it to you. Now, we like spice in my house. So it was perfect. It was a perfect amount of spice. I just make sure you got them seasonings on this chicken. Make sure the seasonings is inside the cut from where you cut it at. Make sure the seasoning all throughout. Okay? You see, I'm putting the seasoning through the holes. Every crevice needs to be covered with seasoning. Okay? Are you listening? Cover it. Okay? Make sure this whole thing, it should be, look at that. You see it? You need to see your seasonings. And if you sneezing, that's even better. Okay? Because like Chef Alden said, if you ain't sneezing, you ain't seasoning. Or it ain't seasoned if you ain't sneezing. You ain't got to go too much. You ain't got to go overboard or nothing like that. You just need to taste these seasonings because we're going to be doing quite a bit. We're going to be searing them on the stove. Then we're going to throw them in the oven. Okay? So I just made sure that it was lathered. Now, the only cream cheese I had was this jalapeno cream cheese. Okay. Once again, optional. So this will be a little spicy. Then I added some cut up red bell pepper. Okay. And then I added this leftover filling that I had. Only had a little bit left. The filling was basically like a jalapeno, equivalent to jalapeno popper. So that same cream cheese, it got a little bit of bacon in it, like a little bit of diced bacon and the cheese and some cheese. So the same shredded cheese I'm about to add to this, which is a Cheddar Jack, that cheese, and just a little bit of diced up chicken. Because this was, like I said, this was a filling because I made some wontons the other day. But since that filling had cream cheese in it, I just added it to this. Okay. So I'm going to do the homemade, home style, piping bag. So I'm going to use a Ziploc bag and I'm going to put the stuff in. Now, I thought I got the clip of me adding the frozen broccoli. So I did add frozen broccoli and I just chopped this up real fine. Or basically just mix it up real good. Okay. So the broccoli, I used one of them flat spatulas and I just made sure that the broccoli was good and chopped up. No big chunks of broccoli, none like that. I just made sure it was real fine. So it's a filling. You feel me? I just thought I got that part. So I do apologize for not having that video clip. But make sure you mix it well. So after I added the red pepper and that leftover jalapeno pepper mix, popper mix. I said pepper popper. After I added all that, I added the broccoli and I added my cheddar cheese, my Cheddar Jack cheese. Okay. Then you just gonna mix it up real good. Okay. And then you're gonna stuff your chicken breasts. Okay. That's all I did. So this filling is literally cream cheese, a little bit of diced up chicken, not that much. So don't even worry about that little diced up chicken. Red pepper, broccoli, and cheese. Okay. That's it. That's all. Only reason I even used that little bit of jalapeno popper mix was because I ran out of cream cheese. I thought I had enough, okay? I thought I had enough cream cheese. So make sure you got you a full block of cream cheese, because that is what I would have used if I had it. So a full block of cream cheese, red bell pepper, your frozen broccoli, your cheese, okay? If you want to be real fancy, you can add some ranch seasoning to your filling, but this was good and seasoned enough. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't do nothing to the filling because, like I said, I already seasoned the inside of the chicken, so it's gonna be getting a mix of that seasoning anyway. You know, that's why I said season it well. Don't overdo it, especially when it comes to those high sodium seasonings. Don't overdo it, okay? We're not doing that high blood pressure. We got to get a hang on this, okay? I've been making better decisions. So when it come to these meals, these are, when you see these, like this type of meal, any pastas and stuff like that, I try to make those more on Sundays. Sundays are for comfort meals, okay? So this next Sunday, Marry Me Chicken is up next. But I'm going to be doing a Marry Me Chicken tortellini. So stay tuned for that recipe because it is coming. I have never made the Marry Me Chicken, but I've seen it everywhere. And somebody finally, I knew it was coming. Somebody finally, requested that I make it. They requested on one of my videos. I'll go ahead and slide that recipe on. So I'm going to start with the Marry Me Chicken tortellini because I just know it's going to be good. And I love tortellini. Especially this mushroom tortellini that I get from Aldi. Aldi got the best tortellini, fam. Go in Aldi, go where they pastas at and stuff, and look at those tortellini. They got like a ricotta and spinach tortellini, stuffed tortellini. They got the mushroom that I be getting. Like, go in there. Aldi got it all, okay? Aldi. It's in the name. So then I went ahead, after I stuffed them really well, okay, with that mixture that we just mixed, I went ahead and got a nice sear on both sides in my cast iron skillet. So I got a little oil in there, okay, just a little bit. Got a little oil in there. Put the chicken breast in there. We're going to get a nice sear on both sides. It's not going to take long. Maybe 6 minutes, 3 minutes per side, maybe, because we're not cooking this all the way through. They are thick, so you ain't going to be cooking them all the way through anyway. So we're going to be putting them in the oven, okay? So get your oven preheated on 400 degrees, okay? Because this is not going to take long either. I'm not going to be covering them when I put them in the oven. I'm going to be putting them on 400 degrees and we're going to cook them for about 30 minutes. Okay? Or until done. So make sure you're checking it. But you will have time to check it because I'm not going to be covering it because I'm going to add some butter on it before I put it in the oven, right? So that's going to make some juices. Okay? So by the time I check it and check on it within like maybe 20 minutes after cooking, I'm going to be basting it. So all them juices that you see at the bottom, you're just going to be basting it. So if you're not going to, you can cover it if you want to, because some people do cover it. I'm not going to cover mine, okay? So after I flipped it over, like you just saw me do, I flipped them over so both sides can get a nice sear on it. But before I put them in the oven, I flipped them right back over to the original side. Like the side where you can really see the stuffing and all that. I flipped it back over for that, and then I added the butter, and I put it in the oven on 400 degrees, once again for like 30 minutes. Checking it and basting it, okay? So every 15 minutes or so, I was basting it. Make sure the chicken was basted. Make sure they ain't drying out. Because we need juicy chicken breast, okay? Ain't nothing worse than some dry chicken breast, okay? We're not doing it. I don't like no dry meat. Everything needs to have juiciness, and that's what the basting is for, okay? The basting is to make sure your juiciness is maintained, okay? So there should never be a time within this where you're not checking this and basting it. So after about 15 minutes or so of cooking it in the oven, go ahead and open the oven, get some of that butter juice on it, okay? Get some of that butter juice, use a spoon, get some of that butter juice on it. So this is that butter that I'm putting on top, which is my homemade butter. I do have a video for that too, okay? If you haven't seen my homemade butter video, go check that out. It's only a few videos, probably a few videos down. I don't know, but it's recent. So check out the homemade butter because I didn't know homemade butter was so easy to make. It's crazy, you know? So I just put enough butter on top, just a couple, I just was kind of cutting it with the knife as I was putting it on there. So I put that in there, like I said, 400 degrees. And this was after about the 30 minutes, okay? You're going to cook it until it's the tenderness to your liking because this should be falling apart when it's done, okay? It should look like this when it's done. 30 minutes or so, okay? Checking it, basting it, making sure it got that juiciness, okay? Because it's fire. And I added a little bit of Nashville hot chicken seasoning on top. Now I paired it with the Vigo. I just found this brand. the Vigo brand Mexican Spanish rice, or Mexican rice or Spanish rice. I forgot which one they call it, but it's yellow rice. It's Mexican yellow rice, and it's already seasoned. I just came across this. I like it. Okay, you know, it might be one of my favorite yellow rices, and this was the inside. Okay, I had to cut it open so you could see. Best chicken breast I have had. Best stuffed chicken breast I've had thus far. Okay, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and make this. Let me know if you make this, because it was fire.